Good evening, my viewers. Tonight I am with Mike Ford. Mike is a successful businessman in the field of web design, and he's going to tell me a little bit about web design tonight because I know nothing about it. I feel like an albatross in this modern world of technology. So Mike, first of all, I want to introduce you and let people know who you are.
Thank you. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, George. Thank you very much.
Pleasure to meet you here in Peekskill, New York,
Yep.
my hometown, and
My hometown, too.
And your dad's hometown.
Well, technically, my dad's hometown is Manhattan.
Yes.
But he moved up here in 1983 when I was born. I was
Right.
born in Manhattan, but I lived in Peekskill my whole life up until recently. I moved across the river, but by Woodbury Commons. But I am coming back to Westchester very soon. Yep.
Now, I don't even know what a web page is or web design.
Okay.
Can you tell me how you originally got started in designing
Sure.
web pages? What is a web page? What is the purpose of it?
Okay.
How's that?
All right, sure. I originally got started. I was 10 years old when I built my first website.
10 years old?
10 years old.
Wow.
I'm self-taught, and the way I taught myself was by basically looking at other websites' source code and just learning the code and kind of just grabbing the bull by the horn, so to speak, and just went at it. So I built my first website when I was 10, and 2 years later I wrote my first computer program when I was 12.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just always been a passion of mine. I've always just been drawn to the computer. I love to start with a blank slate and turn it into something creative that helps businesses, helps my business, and
How does it help business? How does a web, having a business, let's say right now, that
Yep.
doesn't have a web page, how does that help their business? It promotes them like Marketing 101?
Big time.
Worldwide or local or what?
Both.
Really?
I'm sure you've seen the yellow page every year getting smaller and smaller.
Yes,
smaller.
I see print media getting smaller and smaller.
Right.
Too.
So everything is gone digital. It's not going digital. It has gone digital.
It's gone digital.
Yeah, and while it has hurt certain markets, it has also opened up many
New
opportunities
markets.
for new markets, such as mine. My market, things like that. But a website is basically a virtual. It could be a storefront or a landing page, or it's basically just a virtual site with aggregated information, with information of your company, your services, things like that, what you offer. If you sell stuff online, then you have a higher chance of being seen, things like that. So it's basically an online real estate for your business place, or it could be for a personal blog, a personal website, things like that. But businesses these days, it's essential to have a website, because everybody, let's be honest, everybody goes to Google to look up something, and a big statistic is approximately 60% of searches on Google searches, web searches, are done via the mobile phone. So everybody's just on their phone, whether it's somebody on the train home looking for something or on the computer looking for something. Everything is pretty much looked up online these days.
What is it that technology has taken over so much of life in America? I observe it in coffee shops that I go to.
Well,
I see parents with their children not conversing with each other like you and I are doing.
True.
But both of them are doing this.
It's true. And you know what?
So what is the fascination, or what's the addiction?
Well, it's in my opinion. Well, let me just rewind.
Okay,
real quick.
Rewind. Let's get back to where you.
Well, no, to the first part of that question. I was one of those kids before it was kind of mainstream. I always got the latest technology, and my parents always knew that this was my calling, so they always bought me the latest computers, the latest gadgets, the PDAs, and all sorts of stuff, so I can learn and have fun with it. And I was one of those kids that was always glued to the screen, but I never really played games. I was always just trying to build stuff and, just try to learn.
A lot of what you say is true. I was recently talking to someone in a mall, a bricks and mortar mall, which may in the future be obsolete.
Unfortunately.
And I had noticed, because I do a lot of mall walking, I do that as part of my exercise.
There you go.
You don't know this, but in the past 3 years, I've lost 70 pounds.
Good for you.
Mainly through diet control and exercise, mainly walking.
Good for you.
So I bought an item from this person.
Yeah.
And I says, how are you possibly surviving?
Right.
I see your store every day, and I see hardly anybody in it, and I know this mall has tremendous overhead.
Right, of course. And it's tough to
actually,
compete.
It was a chocolate store, and I was buying a rose for my wife.
Okay, good for you.
I says, how are you surviving? And you know what he said to me?
How?
We sell online, we're doing a tremendous business.
Yeah, and the market has changed everywhere. I mean, you have powerhouses like Amazon that, especially with the recent acquisition of Whole Foods, will have a footprint in every major city. So it's tough to compete with that. So in order to keep your head above water, so to speak, you have to have a strong online presence.
So you're like a young Mark Zuckerberg. Isn't he amazing, Bud?
Oh, he's great. Yeah, I appreciate that compliment. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me.
He only did 1 year of college.
Yeah, he built.
And in the garage in Dobbs Ferry, New York, which is in our county.
That's where he's from, Dobbs Ferry.
He's a multi-billionaire.
Oh, yeah. He created Facebook from his dorm. And he's obviously somebody I look up to and respect dearly.
Now, we want to know more about you. You went to college?
I did.
What did you major in college?
Well, I graduated with a degree in sociology.
Sociology?
Yeah, I took a couple semesters of computer programming and computer science, but I hate to say this, but it was kind of boring. I kind of, not to toot my own horn, but I kind of knew what I was doing, so I switched majors and I graduated with a sociology degree, but I'm back to the computers. I've never stopped, working on computers.
So, in order to develop Facebook pages, a person doesn't need a degree in Facebookology?
No.
So, how does one learn this trade then?
Well, I mean, if you're looking to make a Facebook page, Facebook obviously has help files online, or that's something that Safe Cloud Studios does. We, create.
By the way, we didn't mention that. I have to mention to my vast audience, and we're in Altice, which was Cablevision.
Correct,
of Peekskill.
Right.
We're in Peekskill, New York, and you just opened a business.
I did, right? 3 blocks down the road.
Which has to do with websites.
Correct. It's called Safe Cloud Studios.
And I'm sure anyone watching this show, you will give them a free consultation.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Free consultation for sure.
Now, what is your website number?
Well, my website
is a contact number where people who, if they see this and want to know more about it,
Sure.
can contact
The
you.
website's www.safecloudstudios.com. You can find us on social media. Instagram, our username is Safe Cloud Studios. Same with Facebook, Safe Cloud Studios. And our phone number is 914-297-8517. And believe it or not, we're open. Well, you respond to people 24 hours a day. And I'll tell you why.
Really?
I'll tell you why. One of the biggest things that clients of mine have, one of their biggest issues, I should say, that clients of mine have with previous companies that they that manage their social media, their online, their websites, their advertising, was lack of response. So when I first started doing this out on my own, I made sure to be very responsive to clients. If somebody, I realize that their livelihood depends on on updating a website, or even if it's a restaurant having a special or whatever it is. I take great pride in within 24 hours, whatever you ask will be done.
Wow.
Yeah, I take great pride in that.
So you're very efficient.
I try to be. Yeah, I am. I answer my phone all day. When I leave the office, that number gets forwarded to my cell phone. So people can call, text, or email me at night anytime, and they do. They do.
It's amazing how the world has changed.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a couple of examples.
Yep.
I'm in a coffee shop later at night, 6 or 7 at night, and I see a lady tapping away on her computer.
Right.
I says, "What are you doing? Is that social?"
Yeah.
She says, "No, that's for my job."
Okay.
I says, are they paying you extra for doing this? And she says, no, in order to keep my job, I have to take calls from China.
Right.
So I think I have to unionize some of these people who are on computers at night.
Right.
Also, teachers in Yonkers are required, I read in the newspaper, to answer kids' questions at night.
No kidding.
And
Okay.
I don't know if they're being paid extra for that.
Well, I'll
And
tell you, I
they
don't charge extra for being called at night.
I like teachers, and I think they're underpaid.
Right,
really.
I agree with you on that.
Because I've observed teachers from northern Westchester
I couldn't agree with you
coming
more on
into
that.
a coffee shop at 6 or 7 in the morning,
Yep.
traveling to Yonkers
Right.
or Mount Vernon or the Bronx to have
Yep.
a job, and not coming home till 5 at night.
I agree. And then they come home,
And
they
then
grade papers, and
grade
they're
papers,
making
set up the
tomorrow's
next
agenda.
day.
I agree 100% on that. Teachers are underpaid and deserve more accolades, in my
But the
opinion.
technological world has its pitfalls as well. Hackers.
It does. It does. But, you could stay ahead of hackers, and that's kind of where the Safe Cloud name came from.
Oh, by the way, I like your name. That's the name of your store or company, Safe
yeah,
Cloud.
it's Safe Cloud Inc.
Did you ever hear an old song, "Hey, you get off of my cloud"?
No, by who? By who? I'll have to look it up.
I think I forgot the name.
Okay, I'll
it's
Google
an
it
old
later.
70s, 60s
All
or
right,
70s.
I'll Google it later. And
Yeah.
you know what? And that's what everybody says now. I'll Google it. And that goes back to what we
Yeah.
were saying before.
Is that Barney Google?
Yeah.
I don't know what Google is. I don't know what Twitter is.
Right.
You're gonna have a big job with me because I heard you're gonna help me a little
I'll
bit
help you out
after
as
this
much as you
show.
possibly, as much as you need.
I got to get into the modern
Yeah,
age.
yeah,
'cause
we need
I have
to
a
get you a
TV
website.
show. I've
Yeah.
done 20 years of TV.
Right. We need to get you a website.
I've done 1,000
social media.
interviews.
Yeah.
interviews.
Oh, at least, yeah.
And,
Yep.
I know I
You've
have a lot
interviewed
of
bunch
fans.
Of my friends. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I did
Yep.
interview Gabby.
Yeah, Gabby De Silva, I went to high school with.
Joni Blondell,
Joni Blondell,
who's the
yep.
fine wife of the owner of the
The
Hudson
Room.
Room.
Louis Lanz is
and about
Joni's
4
husband.
other restaurants,
Yeah,
and maybe
Louis,
more to come.
Louis is one of my.
Louis
well,
is a great
first of all, he's
guy.
one of my favorite men. I'm not just saying that because
Yeah,
he's my
yeah,
client,
yeah.
but he's been a client of mine for since before the Hudson Room opened. I did the Hudson Room website, Taco Bar website, Buns and Bourbon, the Factoria. The logos for Taco Bar, Buns and Bourbon.
And isn't Peekskill, New York, on the rise?
It's not just on the rise; it's there. It's even
going to be greater.
It's
going to be greater. And I hear we got like 750 units of middle income housing, the Ginsberg Company.
Exactly, being built right now, and it's.
And look at the transformation of North Division Street.
Oh, yeah.
I remember years ago, 27 years ago, when I lived here, it was just all boarded up stores.
Right. Well, yeah, I grew up in the area, too. I'm 34, so, my father's business was in Peekskill for many, many years. So I remember, coming in and seeing the same thing, and, you don't see it anymore.
Mike, there was an old show on TV you wouldn't remember. This Is Your Life.
Okay.
I like to get people to know you as a full person, not just as, let's say, a computer whiz or a computer nerd.
Hey, well, you can ask me anything.
You
I'm an
went to
open book.
college.
I did.
Were you involved in any sports or any extracurricular activities?
Yeah. Well, started high school. I played soccer, and I went to Hendrick Hudson High School.
Very good school.
Yep. I played soccer, and I wrestled. On the varsity level for 4 years, which got me in tremendous shape, and I love it. It was good. It was very good for me for my future, and it just helped me become more confident and stronger. And
I picture you as somebody on the stage. Have you ever acted in your life?
I'll tell you what. The first job I ever wanted was an actor.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Did you play in the high school play or try out
I didn't.
for?
I did sports instead. I did basketball, not in school, in the county. I did wrestling and soccer in school, and then a bunch of extra taekwondo, a bunch of extracurricular activities.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, I do regret not going into theater. Many people have told me that I should do that, and I always tell my wife, who works in the city, that if you ever see anything actors wanted, tell me. I'll go. And
I hear your wife works for a pretty famous company,
Yes.
Mr. Buffet.
Small company called Berkshire Hathaway.
Oh yes, I've heard of it.
It's Berkshire Hathaway Guard. It's actually it's a.
What's the guard mean?
Well, it's an insurance company,
Oh,
so
okay.
they guard you.
Okay.
But it's actually a startup, and she's on the. She was lucky enough to get in on the ground level. So she's a hard worker. I'm so proud of her, and you know, I met her in college, and we've been together since. Been married for 5 years now. This year will be our 5-year anniversary, and you know, we're very, very happy. No kids yet.
So how long ago did you start your business in Peekskill, and is it growing already? I can see it growing.
It's growing already I hate to say, but at a surprising rate.
Exponentially,
right? It's growing very expeditiously, which I'm very proud about. I have an office right above the Hudson Room, which is next to the left of the Paramount Theater. It's Studio 212 at 1006 Brown Street, and I worked with my father at Ford Piano for many years, but
I know of your father.
I know you do.
He's very well renowned.
He is
in Peekskill. I know he started at Riverfront Green in a little humble business, and wound up
right in the center of town.
Huge Ford Piano, which now is the Hudson Room, and your business is
Ford
upstairs.
Piano's still there, but the Hudson Room is next door. And my office is right above the Hudson Room.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So, but I'll tell you what. Like I said before, I started building websites when I was 10 years old. Just a notepad on the computer. Just taught myself, and it's always been my a hobby of mine. And I worked for my father, you know, for a while after I graduated college to make enough money to invest into my own company. And I've been on my own for a little while now. I started off in my house, you know, working out of my home, and now I'm lucky enough to have enough work where I could have an office, and a couple of people help me out there, and you know, a few employees that help me out. And,
I want to get back to your family heritage and your family background.
Okay.
I hear they come from a pretty good company, pretty good country.
Yes.
Hungary?
Hungary, yep. Yeah, my great-grandfather was born and raised in Hungary.
My great-grandfather was born in Czechoslovakia.
Okay, so we're neighbors.
And my other grandfather on the other side was born in Russia.
Okay, all right, great.
So we got a good Eastern European mix.
Yeah.
And you know, somebody pretty famous from Peekskill was born in, was it Hungary? George Pataki?
Oh yeah, and that's, you know, part of the reason why I think him and my father clicked so well.
Oh, him and your dad were pretty good friends?
Yeah, they were, and they still are. Yeah, they still are.
George is a great guy.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I feel he should have been the president of the United States, but I'm biased, I guess.
Right. Well, you're a local Peekskill
funny
guy.
Story about him when I'm with him and his wife sometimes, and I was with his daughter promoting a book. She had a #1 bestseller on the New York Times list.
Yep.
You know, that family is all very tall.
Oh, yeah.
So I whispered to Libby, I says, Libby, you know, when I'm next to your husband, I feel very small. And you know what she said very diplomatically?
What?
George, you look like tall George in Peekskill to me, too.
Oh, there you go.
And I liked his mom a lot. I took a picture once of her 20 years ago.
Okay.
Rose, I believe her name was.
Yeah.
And she said, that's the best picture ever taken of me.
No
and
kidding.
I said, Mrs. Pataki, you've learned a lot from your son, or he learned a lot from you.
Right, exactly. There you go. Yeah, good.
But let's get back to web design.
Okay.
It's the wave of the future, right?
Yeah,
it is the future.
It is. I mean, let's be honest.
Look, elections are all online.
They are. And let's be honest. Every business needs a website. It's
amazing, too, instantaneously how you can get information from all over the world.
Right, exactly.
Similar to I'm on YouTube.
Right.
And my show shows all over the world.
I've
it can
seen
be
your show
seen
many times
in
on
Hungary,
YouTube.
even, or Russia, or China, if they don't block it out.
Yeah, right. Which I think it is.
I understand some countries, they block things
China
out.
blocks out, you know, Facebook and
really,
yeah,
and they're trying to say they're becoming a democratic country. What's democratic about that?
You know what? I'm on my own business.
Yes, we don't get into politics.
I try to make my clients happy, keep my head above water, keep a roof over my family's head, and eat every night, and I'm happy.
And I hear you have a roof other than in Westchester, but you're thinking of coming back one of these days.
We're not thinking. We are coming back. Yep. We live by Woodbury Commons now. We bought a house 7 years ago there, and we said, hey, let's stay here 5 to 10 years, and we're right there now. You know, we bought inexpensive land there. We have an acre out there, and
that's a beautiful area.
It is. It really is.
As
I like
I'm
it over
driving
there.
up to Bethel to music concerts,
of course.
you familiar with that?
Absolutely.
That's the old Wood Sox
of course.
site.
Absolutely.
saw Lady Gaga
Oh,
and
yeah?
Tony Bennett there
Okay.
last
Oh,
year.
yeah. Okay, so that was a
And I have
couple
a
year or
lot
two ago.
more respect for her now that she teamed up with Tony
Oh, she's a
Bennett.
talented lady.
She is very
She's a
talented.
very talented lady.
She just knows how to make money off the commercialism.
Yeah, well, she knows how to
But
market herself.
I think she graduated from Juilliard
She did.
Museum.
I was just going to say that. She did.
And she's formerly from my hometown, but she doesn't admit it. Yonkers, New
No
York.
kid. I knew she was a New York girl, but I didn't know
She
she was
says
from
she's
Yonkers.
from Greenwich Village, but
Okay,
I had
all right,
heard
yeah.
from reliable sources.
Oh, okay.
Well, she may have lived there at one
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
in her
Well, I
life.
believe it. I believe
Italian family, too,
Okay.
by the way.
Okay.
Gaga is
right. And lady's not
What
her
a
first
funny
name, right?
name. But she was very good in person.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I'm
if
sure.
you ever heard her sing the score of The Sound of Music, it's fantastic.
I think I might have when she was going on tour.
Yeah.
She was on a bunch of late shows with them and with him, and I listened. I watched them perform on some different
Or
late
if you've
shows.
ever heard of a local talent from Garrison, Joni Blondell,
Oh, of course.
singing
Good friend
like
of mine.
Dolly Parton,
Yeah.
Jolene,
Oh, yeah.
fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
Were you at the Nashville?
Oh yeah, actually, we Safe Cloud Studios was a big promoter for that.
Wow.
Yeah, big time. We promoted that for several months, along with.
And I helped her a little bit in my own way with
Okay.
the TV show.
Yeah, yes, you did.
And some
I
contacts
walked her over here.
with WHUD.
Yep,
Our
and,
good friend Casey Morbido
I would be
and Mike.
remiss to not mention Ray Wilson also helped out a lot with Nashville, and Abigail. She helped out a lot. Of course, Joni and Louie helped out tremendously.
And I like her fiddler. What's her name?
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're both appearing.
Daisy
Daisy
Joplin,
Joplin.
yep.
She's fantastic.
Oh, I've known her for
And what
years.
a bubbly
Oh,
personality
very.
she is.
She is like a ray of light.
I have to bring the two of them back. If you happen to run into them,
I do,
say
all the
George
time.
would like to promote them once more for their gig at the Lincoln,
Lincoln,
Center,
yep.
Center Stage.
You're
by
right.
the way.
Well,
Isn't
you gonna
that
go
kinda
down?
on? I may.
I'm going down.
I may.
Yeah,
maybe they'll invite me down. As being one of their promoters.
Right. Well, I'm
'Cause
good
that
friends
ought to
with
be-
Joni. I have nothing but respect for her,
Oh.
as we mentioned before. She's-
Mother of three
mother of
lovely
three
children.
Oh yeah, great boys. Wife of Louis Lanza, so she deserves a
Singer
medal for
on
that.
Broadway, 42nd Street,
Yep.
and a backup dancer
Yep.
or a dancer with the
With the
Rockettes.
Rockettes. Yeah, very-
It's quite
very
a
talented.
And a little girl from Nashville,
Yep.
or
Well, from
the
Kentucky.
outskirts.
From Kentucky. Yep. And she moved up here and made her way, and
So we got good people living in the Peekskill area
Absolutely.
with businesses in Peekskill.
Absolutely.
We have a theme now. We believe in Peekskill.
I believe in Peekskill,
And
yep.
you don't know this, but
Yep.
I'm writing words to that song right
Okay.
now.
Oh, you know what? I think you mentioned that to me the other day
Yes.
with Joni, correct?
Yeah, because I have
Yeah.
a bucket list, and one of them is to be a songwriter.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm going to do it.
Well, can I hear you sing it?
No, because everybody would shut their TVs off. You don't want to hear me sing it.
I'll wait till Joni sings it.
Yes.
I want to hear her sing it.
So, what do you see in the future of your business, Facebook pages?
Well, as you know, we create logos, graphics, websites, promotional material. We do marketing, advertising, print media, mailers, billboards, stuff like that. I would like to see this expeditious growth continue. And this is my avocation and my vocation. I love it.
Wow.
It's my job. I'm very passionate about it.
Do you get any physical exercise besides doing that?
I do. I have
to work
to.
out at a gym or anything?
In my basement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
that's the best place.
Yeah, I bring my dog. She's 13 and a half.
Oh,
I bring her
beautiful.
on a couple-mile walk every day.
Anybody
She's in great
has
shape.
a dog is a good person or a cat. We've
she's
had
a
a
rescue
cat
dog.
all our life.
Okay.
Especially a rescue
Yeah,
dog.
she's a rescue dog.
Was she rescued from New Orleans to hurricane?
No, I got her before that. Yeah. No, after that. I'm sorry. I got her after that. Yeah.
Speaking of rescue dogs, little aside from the news last night,
Uh-huh.
a doggy saw a baby deer
I saw
drown.
that. I
That
saw
was
that.
the most heartwarming thing I ever saw.
I saw. He
pulled
brought
him
her
in,
out,
and then he licked him like a baby
on the
pup,
neck, and he tried.
like a mother with a
Yep.
little child.
That was nice. That was beautiful.
That
Well,
was.
dogs
I bet
are,
they got 100 million hits.
I'm
on
sure.
that.
I'm sure. Dogs are man's best friends, and I love all animals. To be honest
I
with you.
do too.
Yeah.
We're very good friends.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
an advocate for animals.
So am I. So am I.
Our four-legged friends and our web-footed friends.
That's right.
And I've gotten some trouble in that in the past by being really out there for them, but they have nobody to speak for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
So, almost wrapping up the show, there's about 3 minutes left.
Okay.
What would you like to say in closing to my vast audience of Westchester, Putnam, and the world on YouTube?
Great. Well, first I would like to thank you for having me on here. It's been a pleasure. The pleasure's all mine. The honor's all mine.
Intelligent, charming, and happy young man like
thank you.
And successful
businessman.
Say
a few more. No, I'm just kidding. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. And I would just like to thank everybody for taking the time to view us and listen to me. I could talk all day, as I'm sure you could probably see. And if anybody ever needs any help with any sort of business-related web design,
what's that website?
It's www.safecloudstudios.com. That's safe, S-A-F-E, cloud, C-L-O-U-D, studios, studios.com. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook. Call us anytime at 914-297-8517. I'd be more than happy to give any of George's viewers a free consultation and the family price, since you and I are close
give
now.
A little discount.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Mike, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been an absolute honor and a pleasure.
Hello.
I certainly will.
I've got to meet with him formally one of these days.
Sure. Maybe we'll get him on here.
And my viewers, this has been my guest, successful businessman and webpage designer Mike Ford with his business in Peekskill, New York. Till next time, get a lot of hits on our website and sign up for a website.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you, and good night.